Hello and welcome to my demonstration of Team 1's final project. Our final project food truck name is Tuma's Truck. The name comes after my co-partner Tuma Joseph Ziegler. We named our truck after him. Right here we have you at our landing page. I'll kind of just walk you through the website real quick, and then we will talk about the things I contributed to this project. So first off, we have our landing page. Comes with our little title up top and a little carousel that displays some pictures. You can move right, you can move left, or you can skip between the pictures using these dots. Going on to the next page, we have the menu. This displays our few menu items we have right now. We're planning on expanding here in a little bit. If you click on one of the items, it'll take you to a description where you can see exactly what this food item is made up of. You can see down here we have an option to pre-order, which I will go over a little bit later in this video. Next up, we have our blogging site, where we can come in and post new blogs for people who are following us so they can keep up to date with the greatest and latest. Each blog will offer a title, the text of the blog, the main body, and who wrote it, when it was written, the date, the time. Moving on, we can go to our locations page. Here we do have another Bootstrap carousel featuring some new photos. This will show the location of where our food truck will be throughout the week. We've got some pretty standard days. We visit the same spots the same day of the week, so you can see a Monday will always be in Bountiful between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Up here we have the ability to search for locations we may be in. So if we put Bountiful in and hit search, you'll see that we are in Bountiful from Monday and on Tuesdays. You can also, as we expand and visit more places, you might want to search other places that you think you might be able to find us, such as Moab, but we are currently serving Moab right now. This ability to clear search. Next we have our social media. This is a very basic social media. It has links that will direct you to our Facebook page, Instagram page, Twitter page. We find social media to be a very important part to running a food truck. Many people, this is their way of communicating and figuring out the latest on what's going on. It's also a really good they are really good platforms for marketing our food truck. Okay, so go back to the home page. I will now display some of the functionality of our web page. I personally was in charge of the locations page. I did create these Bootstrap carousels, and applied it to the home page as also to the location page. Was also in charge of the menu pre-order system. However, we did not get it working quite the way we wanted it, but we left it in because it does have some functionality we want to show off. Going to our location page, I already demonstrated how you can filter searches. We also have the ability to log in as an admin. So I believe, let me log in real quick. Alright, so we're logged in. We'll head back to our location page, and you can see how it has opened up the ability to create new locations and also check out the details. You can delete a location, and you can edit a location in here and save it. We'll create a new location. We are going to start visiting Moab. I don't know, an actual street in Moab, so we'll just say Main Street. Moab Place. And it's going to be in Moab. And we're going to be there on Sundays from 10 to 6 p.m. Go ahead and create that, and you can see we do now have Moab. I'm going to log off here, take you over to the menu pages. Now, I was in charge of the pre-order, and as you can see that if you're not logged in as a customer, it will not allow you to pre-order. However, if you look up here, it gives you a link. It'll take you to log in, and we'll just log in as an admin again. I think we have a few customer profiles set up, but once you're logged in, you can navigate back to our menu items, and you can see that we have the ability to pre-order, select the items you want to pre-order, and submit the order. That will allow our customers to come and pick up their meals already cooked. However, we did not get the total amount and the points working like we wanted to. We had some problems trying to figure out how to update, or I had problems trying to figure out how to update the DOM and never could get over that hurdle. You can see that with the ability of Bootstrap, all of our pages will resize to fit different resolutions. You can see here as we shrink to mobile device size that our items are now nicely lined up and easy to view on a mobile device. So now I'm going to take you to the back end, the code part of our project. You can see our project is built up on an ASP.NET MVC platform, separating models, views, and controllers. Okay, our models that we have for my locations page is just a basic model. This will create the database for us to add and delete new locations into our database. You can see that we have location name, location address, location city, location day, and location time. On these, I've just used some data annotations, some basic ones. Require makes it so you have to have a location name in order to create a new location. The rest of these are just simple display. Some of them, like here, I don't want it to say location city, I just want it to say city, so that's going to take care of that on the front end. Moving on to our controller, got our locations controller. A lot of this is built through the framework that ASP.NET has offered, but you can see that I went through and made this whole class authorized, saying that you have to be authorized to access this page. However, coming through, we allow anonymous, so you don't have to be logged in to get to our index page. Down here we can see we got our create view, and it only can be accessed by anybody that has the role of admin, and we showed you that on the front end. Down here we have some edits the same way, only accessed by admin. We got another edit, admin rights, delete admin rights. Down here we got admin rights as well. Alright, down here we do have a method to filter locations. We are going to pull in a string from the front end saying what city they want to look in. We're going to create a new location list, and then for each location in our database we're going to see if it equals the city that the customer is looking for, and then we're going to add it to this location list. Okay, so right here it's just saying if the location list is less than 1, then we're just going to add that city to our database, which is not the best logic right now. This is good for a temporary thing, but once we go live with this, we'll want to change it so it's not adding to our database. That's kind of funky way to do it right now, but right now it's going to add that city and say we're currently not serving that city. We're going to return that view, that location list. So that's our locations page. Over here we will go into our views now. I've got two different views for location. One is going to be our basic index. You can see up here that we did use our Bootstrap carousel. Bootstrap has made it very easy to add these kind of features into web pages. One of the great things about Bootstrap. So we got our carousel. It's going to cycle through 3 slides. We can add more if we want to. There's our images, our alternate text. Up here, just really quick, we're pulling in our database, and I also threw in a little style here. I don't think I showed you guys this, but And this is probably in the wrong place, but this style allows us to come back to our tables, and as we hover over it, it's going to highlight what we're looking at. That just gives it a little bit more visibility, I think, for the users, just to kind of like read across the line. I think Bootstrap has this this table hover, but the hover option I was reading was white, so I had to come in and turn it to a light gray so it would actually show up. Over here we've got our buttons for searching. We've got a search button. We can have visitors come and input a name into our text area, submit. That will send it to our controller that will filter out our database for us. Right here we are checking if the user is authenticated. If they are and they're an admin, we're going to let them see the create options. And then we got our basic Bootstrap table with our HTML helpers for our titles. Then down here we're going to loop through our model, and we're going to add each location from our database, displaying it on a new row. And then at the bottom right here, once again, we are going to check to see if the user is authenticated. Then if the user is authenticated, are they admin, and we'll give them delete and edit rights. Coming over to the filter location, a lot of it is the same. Right here you can see that I have edited it, so instead of the placeholder saying enter city, we are now it has what the city name is that the customer had placed in. So if they put Moab, it's still going to say Moab in the search box. We also add an ability to clear search with this HTML helper, and that will just kind of reset and give you your normal list of table. And then right here it's going to do the same thing. Looks like I didn't use HTML helpers there, but down here it's going to loop through the model and display each row for the search location. So following up, if you guys can remember that I was working on a pre-order system that allows you to accumulate points if you're a regular customer, and land you free points to be used for free food or whatever. However, we did not get this working. I'm just going to step you through, just kind of see the features. We did get logged in to the code. So if I navigate over to our index page, down here we're going to loop through our model and pull in the food as well as a checkbox. We used an HTML checkbox. I think one issue was I need to use checkbox 4. That might have caused a lot of my problems. But this one we just use checkbox. Right here we have a basic for each loop for our table, and it's going to pull in using HTML headers our item.food name, which comes from our model. That will give us our headers, and then we're going to come down here into our table body, and once again we're going to check if the user is authenticated like the other pages. However, we will not need them to be an admin. We're just looking to see if they're logged in so they can pre-order. So if they're logged in, they're going to have this checkbox pre-order option where they can go ahead and select the checkbox. If he's not logged in, we're going to come here and disable these checkbox for him, and also give them that message that says, hey, log in if you want to pre-order, and they can click that message and it'll take you right to the login page. So that's basically my contribution to the web page. A few other little things I'll show you. We ran into problems with database migration, so we just decided to stick with an initializer. Up here you can see that we're going to seed this database, and we're going to create new application managers. We're going to call them user roles, role managers. We're going to create identity of admin and create identity of customers. Down here you can actually see we've created admin 1, that's Tuma with his password, and he's an admin. Down here we got admin 2, that's me, same password, admin rights. And then down here we've got Steven, and he's also an admin. We've also created a dummy customer that we can use and log in just to make sure the customers are working right. We have seeded our database with a couple locations, and we have also seeded it with a couple menu items. And then last down here, this is where we seeded our blogs that Tuma took over and did a really good job on. So there you have it. That is my portion of the project of Tuma's truck. Thank you.